My name is Megan Nilsson, aka Crypto Megan, and we are here in Madrid at Merge Madrid. And I have a really special guest today, all the way from the US, Andrea Barry from Theta Business Development. Right?
Oh my gosh, it's so good to meet you finally in person.
I can't believe, all around the world, all these conferences, and we meet here in Spain where I live. So it's really special to me. And I'm so excited to catch up with you today because it's been a long time coming.
I know we've been meeting. Honestly, I've been at Theta since March of 2022, and I feel like we met early. You're so persistent. It's amazing. And it's awesome. Then I was like, wait, I think you're from Spain. I hope she's in Madrid. So I'm glad we were able to be in person.
Yeah, you're actually one of the reasons that I wanted to come here, apart from the fact that it is one of the top events in Spain and they did such amazing jobs. I mean, how are you enjoying it so far?
It's really cool to see. This is the first time I've been to Madrid, but to see the booths at the conference. I mean, this venue is gorgeous. It's nice to not be in a basement somewhere.
True.
All the light in the sky is like, this is an incredible building, but to see the companies here, it's very nice. As an infrastructure company, it's nice to see, I don't want to say corporate, but it's not just an NFT. Yeah, with the flashy diamonds and everything else, right? There's a lot of builders and corporate companies here, and that's just refreshing to see. It's promising.
Oh yeah, and my specialty, or what I love, is the bridge between the two, right? Like helping them come together and understand how they can use this technology to advance in their own sector. So
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's special. I think they did a fantastic job. We're at the Plaza de Cibeles, the Patio, the Palace. So
it's incredible.
Yeah, I hope you're liking Madrid and
I love it.
It's more often here.
I know. That's hopefully so. I had some great meetings at the conference, and then I reached out to some companies that I know that are based here. Had promising meetings with them, and I always love that because those are the companies I used to work with, and so to try to have them shepherd into here, it's great. But yeah, yesterday the panel I was on was awesome. That was very focused on Film 3 and media and entertainment and content distribution. So Jordan Bain led that. That was really
cool. It was fantastic. Yeah, it was really cool to see and hear all the updates about everything that's happening on that front.
Yeah.
And so Theta,
yeah,
I Theta is one of my favorite chains of, I was very early.
Yeah, very early.
And I'm still going strong. And it's one of the communities to me that's kind of there's a lot of chains that come and go and lots of hype, but it's a very diehard, close-knit. People love it. They've been following it for years and they're excited.
It's really strong.
It is strong. It's strong. So before we get into that, let's hear in a nutshell, what does Theta do?
Sure.
For people who may not be familiar with it.
So Theta is a blockchain company, a decentralized cloud company. We help businesses lean into Web3. So we're very open-minded to using Web2 and Web3 technologies. But we're a layer 1 blockchain company, one of the first proof of stake models. We originally started as a VR 360 streaming company and realized it's very dense to deliver that video. So we built our peer-to-peer network. And that was the inception of the company. And then our CTO and CEO, who are engineers, became very passionate about decentralization, realized engagement is everything for media and video. And so they architected the proof of stake model for our layer 1. Now, since then, we've evolved and we have a mainnet and you can launch subchains, and it's really incredible. I know that you work with Cog, which has a subchain.
Yeah.
But I would say in general, we specialize media, entertainment, and AI. And it's really exciting right now, everything happening with AI, of course, and we see it all, a lot of buzz. And we've, focused on messaging around this. A lot of people don't realize that because of this peer-to-peer network that we originally built, it offers us in a unique position now where GPUs and the infrastructure for AI is very limited,
right? And
we're able to offer our network for that purpose. And I think we talked about this maybe briefly, but we just launched this Android app that allows you to essentially use your phone as an edge node and be a part of that network and strengthen it, which is really exciting.
Huge update. I mean, that's huge. There are not a lot of chains actually operating in this way in the AI sphere, so to speak.
Yeah, it's interesting. Theta, it's a dance of an art, I would say, of we are definitely a B2B company. However, in this stage of the industry, it's important we still have consumer touch points, right? And so we will build consumer proof of concepts or products to showcase patents and things like that. And so it's interesting to have this Android app. It's exciting because it's very consumer driven, but really then what it means for bigger corporations using AI. I just love that dotted line. It's really cool.
Oh yeah. And so the Theta Edge Cloud is what it was. And it was a long time ago, very highly anticipated. And I think it's it's really exciting to see not only that, but your marketplace, your NFT marketplace.
Oh, sure.
Following that a lot as well. It's that's like, yeah, Theta Drop. That's what we need in the industry, is something that feels just easy and seamless, and like you're not actually operating on a chain. Like it's so simple.
Definitely. I think that's a huge part of, I wouldn't say like makes my job easy, but when I go and meet with these companies, and a typical meeting might be just for me to demystify the technology. I can start to talk about Theta Drop as like, okay, here's like where we could start with a marketing campaign or something that helps solve a problem they may have as a business, or deepen the relationship with fan engagement. For example, the Las Vegas Knights, the hockey team.
Yeah, that was
a great example.
Yeah,
totally. And I don't know if you saw, but last night we premiered our logos on the ice.
Oh, I did
It
not.
is so cool. Theta Edge Cloud is on the ice. I was like in the middle of the night, like updating, like seeing it. It was really cool.
And I know you offered like utility for people who are special members of the Theta Drop community, that you allow them to attend a game at one of the booths, or like VIPs.
So we work with, the brand company team in these scenarios and figure out like what is it that they want to, I don't know, is it a problem to solve or strengthen the relationship with fandoms. And it's interesting when you think of Vegas sports and the evolution and all the changes happening. We were just talking about sports. We have a sports background, and I'm fascinated. It's what got me into digital media tech. But when you think about how universal potentially the Knights fandom is, because most of the seats are that actually get taken and filled are people travel. Wow. And so they're in a position, right, to capitalize on that. Instead of it being fandoms that are hyper localized, they have this global reach potentially of done right. So that's what's really exciting, and that's like, I would say, the underpin or just part of the strategy when we work with them of like, okay, how can we strengthen your relationship with global fans instead of just local? Because most teams are limited to like local.
Right. Yeah.
And so anyways, that's very specific, but I love that example because fans all over the world in the Theta community, based off rewards and certain actions and behaviors, I have been able to come and join us in like a VIP booth.
Yeah, I mean, that's so cool. I was like, well, I'm based in Europe, but I want to make the trip for that,
Right? It's so exciting. And then we have ThetaCon. Of course, it's our community conference put on by the community, as we talked about. It's so strong. It's an awesome conference. And that's in Vegas this year. So I'm like really excited. We're partnered with Resorts World Las Vegas. So that's where the conference is.
Which is another huge partnership. I mean, and these are things that like, what I like about Theta is it's not overhyped. It's not something that's like in your face. It's just you're quietly, but like powerfully building.
Yeah.
Right. And then this comes out and they're like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah. And that's kind of like the dance I was describing is ultimately we want to be more like an AWS, where like the common person doesn't really know or care that we're powering. Like we all want to get there in the industry, right? It's like we don't need to worry about how the tech works. It just consumers want it to work, right?
This is the infrastructure that's allowing it to happen. And
so we definitely in the long run want to be more like AWS in that sense. However, today the world is not there yet. So we're still doing those consumer touch points, which is why Theta Drop is amazing. It's a way to onboard consumers, but really onboard these enterprise or brands or studios to be able to use utility. And we're obsessed with, utility around these NFTs.
And I know some of my friends, like they've launched, their own coin on there or their own like trading cards or something to gamify and bring their community together. And it works. And people are very excited about it. So it's really interesting to see like a whole subset of things happening that people aren't necessarily like screaming about on X, but they're happening. And when this comes to full fruition, because it's still in beta. Right. Man, it's gonna be huge, and already is getting amazing traction. You're like the driving force behind these huge partnerships. So I'm happy that you're on board, because I feel like as an investor in Theta that we're in really good hands.
I appreciate.
You also had the partnership with Katy Perry.
Yeah, right? And that was a while ago now, and that led to different partnerships like with American Idol, and all of these things are very complementary. It's interesting because that example was before my time. It's really up to the artist and the creator, the brand, whoever is issuing these NFTs to make something of it, right?
Right.
And so I have this is like you're describing like what I love on my job is like the creativity and optimism that it's like, okay, well, even if that project is at a standstill right now, it can be activated again at any point whenever she would like, or to build on it. And I don't know. Did you see this news about Hyundai this week? We're not partnered with them, full disclosure, but I think it's so cool. The 20 NFTs that they issued years ago.
I didn't actually.
So I'm just like reading about it. I'm jet lagged. I was reading about it in the middle of the night. But they had 20 NFTs a few years ago, like the height of the market. They deemed the project a failure. They couldn't figure it out. Like a lot of companies we saw do this in the height of the market. They missed the mark. They missed the culture of the point. So they deemed it a failure, and to like retire the project, or I guess close that chapter and move on. They have said of those 20 NFTs, the first person to show ownership now will get this car. They're going to give them a car or $20,000 cash, whatever they prefer. And I was like, I'm such a nerd. I have goosebumps. But I just think that's such a good sign. Their perspective is completely different of our perspective on that. But that just shows how projects can
revive.
Yeah. And add value. And I mean, I just think that's a very good sign of it for the industry.
Oh, yeah. That they want to reverse that and that they want to try again.
Yeah. And like revive, activate. And you think about, this is where my business development brain is like a Rubik's Cube. But it's like you think about how business development relationships can work based off of these NFT communities. It's really exciting.
And the fact that they're NFTs means that you can add utility at any point in time for whatever reason. So that's super exciting. And that's why I love that you have Theta drop. You've got so many kind of like buckets, so to speak, different things that you're working on. But let's get back to then the AI for a second, because I know that people are really excited about that. And that is one of like the driving narratives this cycle. So what exactly if you could break it down to help people understand exactly what you're doing in the AI sphere and what you kind of aspire to do in the near future?
Sure. So I would say it's not too different from the way that we've approached other elements of Web3 technology, is that we have this core infrastructure. So there are people who are building and training their own LLMs and things on there.
Wow.
Let's call that like a developer sphere, the open source nature of blockchain. And then the companies that we're working with, or we work more directly with, we're helping them build proof of concepts and products. So like the Las Vegas Knights, they are implementing a chatbot. And it's like, imagine ChatGPT, but trained specifically around the whole fandom for the Vegas Knights. So you can go on the website, ask about dates, tickets, trivia, like all of these cool things to create engagement. That's interesting. But we also have companies that are building these chatbots. We love this generative idea, especially with video.
Yeah.
So we're looking for companies who want to build proof of concepts with us and prove this technology and implement it in real world use cases. So consumers in the community can touch and play with the AI technology. So
that's very exciting.
It's really cool. I'm like talking a little bit slower on them because there's things that I have to keep quiet on.
I know we want the juice, but it's okay because we understand that, I think that it is so powerful because you just continue to build and it's not like one of those projects that's worried about just nailing the narrative or getting, getting all that hype and stuff, regardless of what's happening in the background, which for me is why I like Theta, which is why I like chains like that are actually developing actively.
It's so
with powerhouses like you on the team. Yeah, because otherwise you're just trying to keep up with the narrative and just keep it hot and in the spotlight when in reality, we just want this to stand the test of time.
Exactly.
As investors and as people who are excited about the technology.
Yeah, and that's kind of our funny joke, like me and my coworkers. I make fun of myself because I've never been in this industry during a bull run. So this is like my normal.
So this is
very exciting.
It's less stressful too. I must say, like the bull run is stressful. Not saying that we don't want that. We want that, but yeah, the quietness.
Interesting. Well, and it's gonna help. It's helped me. I feel like train from like an athlete perspective almost. Like now,
that's helping now. Huh?
Now I can qualify these companies more. When there is a bull run, I'll be able to kind of size it up better and understand like what is more impactful versus maybe something that exists because of the bull run, right?
Yeah. No, totally. That's super exciting. I mean, big things coming for Theta. Super excited to just catch up with you here. Hopefully we'll see you at ThetaCon.
I know.
We make
it out to get you out there.
Yeah. And just amazing. Thank you so much for catching up with us.
So glad to chat.
Let's do it again soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
Bye.